Hello to everyone and welcome. Welcome to the Gender Harmony webinar that is co-sponsored by OneRun. I am Lois A. Herman, the Managing Director of OneRun, the Women's UN Report Network, and we address the human rights, oppression, and empowerment of women and girls all over the world. In today's complex and volatile world, gender harmony can be a powerful tool against violence, for peace, for dignity, and respect of women and men, girls and boys. In the core units of society, the family and the community, gender harmony enables and promotes human rights, sharing and synergy, and the appreciation and dignity of all persons. Gender harmony was started in Asia, and I remember the day that Erna Surjati, the director and founder of Gender Harmony, said and wrote me that she wanted to call this Gender Harmony because she wanted to focus on the family, the community, close to home, even though there are many, many islands in Indonesia. Gender empowerment goes beyond this concept of equality to mean a person has the power to control his or her own destiny. Gender empowerment enables persons to access their civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights. In society today, and very much in media, cultures, traditions, religions, values, marketing, advertising, gender stereotypes prevail, often negative. But Gender Harmony has published 8 books. And this is the most recent. You can see the couple on the cover. And recently had a conference in Jakarta, and I was proud to participate, where people are learning how to create harmony and support and love in the primary family unit. Gender harmony focuses on positive human relations, on non-violence and peace, on resilience, and to respect core values and concepts of harmony for the family, the community, the nation, and the world. We need this today, Erna, because the world is really a serious place. And you have a tool for making harmony at all levels. Please tell us about it.
Hello. Thank you, Luis, for your wonderful speech. Now, Gender Harmony can show up of a webinar today, this time, is because we are partnership with Women's UN Report Network. Thank you so much for all joining us today in the online connection. I just would like to say something about Gender Harmony, that we first publish this one. This is our historical and very valuable starting Gender Harmony book, which is published by the Minister of Women Empowerment of Republic Indonesia in 2010. You see the picture is showing gender equality, hope for equity. This is the a picture of men and women with the kids. So today is actually already 14 years. We're really excited to share with you how gender harmony doing and working to increase or to achieve the gender equality and equity. We've been accredited by UN ECOSOC since 2012, and we've been show up also joining the CFW 3 times, and UNHRC and the Geneva 1 time. So this time is the 4th time we joined the CFW 68. Why we show up today? We would like to show you this is our accelerating to gender equity and equality. Why we say this is accelerating? This is gender family resilience. So when you facing some tribulation in life that we cannot deny, we cannot ignore, you have to build resilience and in their harmony have it. So this is in the book that has been launched by Luis, Managing Director of WNRM. So actually, the mission of gender harmony is to achieve family with peace and harmonious living. What is gender harmony formula? This time, I just would like to give you a very brief and clear understanding because we have already, this is the 8 books. Resilience, this is the 8 books. Everything feel about tools, the technical that you could follow. And we promise you could have it because this is proved by research. The gender harmony formula is talk about respect. You cannot say that it's any respect. Okay, we respect. No, this is based on research. Why we put respect? Because based on the finding, factual finding, is done in 2003, 2004 until 2006, that the violence against women higher when the respect, the relationship or the communication with the men and women is low. So if the communication, the relationship in trouble, low, then the violence is high. But if they also so tight, it's also high. Why? That's why we're doing, I'm a statistician, work in the USC before, the research center. Then we put that, that's one, the 5th book in English, Luis, that is gender-based violence. We found it. So we found the respect is in the middle. So like you said, you know, if we put so high or so low, is the violence higher. Now we put respect, meaning we respect to each other. That's the, and communication is a must. Then you could have unity. I mean, we could talk more about it. We could practice more, like picturing in this one. This is practical in life. So everything we show is real. It's not talking only. Okay. The unity is part of solidarity, family, of the spouse and society, and the family of God. If we know that God is exists and alive, then we are the family of God. So what is gender harmony? Gender harmony with characteristic and tools. Characteristics, the most characteristic is respect. When you would like to avoid violence in the family, you have to practice respect. You have to be communicative. How to do the communication? We have the tools, means harmonic communication. Now it's not how to learn, but how to know and then learn later. And we also put something in the mission is equality, equity, and unity. So we all having at the right side, you can read all these tools and outcome. For example, if dual income family is the part of the mission of gender equality against poverty. It is part of gender harmony. How you get out of the poverty, how you get out or handling the crisis, the financial crisis. We already talk about that and you can learn about that. I continue to some gay gender harmony, GH keywords is the first one partnership because we talk about men and women as God ever wanted in the family. So if somebody say, okay, we are men and women, but not partnership, that is not gender harmony because the key is partnership and you should have love. How to provide or to perform love? Go back to your scriptures. I mean, God teaches us about that. That's why we have reference over here. Over here, also the person join is also another reference. And positive thinking. Why? Nobody is perfect. Everybody make mistake. How come to your loved one you punish, you anger, and then you do some violence? That's not the solution. I mean, we give you tools, harmony, cognitive action, and then the last one, and then actually the most important one, we have to remember Emmanuel, God with us. It's like a triangle of marriage. God in the top, and then the bottom is man, husband, and wife. So to become one, and we have gender partnership. Man is the head and woman is the suitable helper. The actually helper is above because the one who is being helped is above. But now we are equality. You know, we are same, similar, being loved, precious by God. Okay. This is actually the diagram of gender harmony, how you have strength, resilience, equality, security, and peace. We have gender harmony tools may reduce 56% of violence. What does it mean? If you fighting dispute every day, if you practicing gender harmony, it gonna be proved next every 2 other day, every 4 day, every week, every mid-month, every month, and next time maybe every year you can only have fighting. I think this is remarkable. It's proved by research. I'm not gonna explain this one because this is a long and very difficult and hard work to prove it. And thanks God that this is gonna could be used by us. And starting for the past 3 years, we promote the godly life because everything could happen, whether it is impossible or not, just only by God. Yeah. Today, I would like to talk about gender family resilience. Gender family precision is our last topic in the book. Is this talking about technical that you could follow? Is PRA, protection, uh, potential risk, and adaptation. So you know whether you have resilience or not. If you don't have adaptation, meaning you don't have resilience. So how to do it? We're gonna we have to train ourselves about this one. Read this book. I mean, if we think it over, I've been married for 48. We're 48 years of marriage. My husband is here. I mean, there's always negative, positive, sick, sickness or maybe quarreling. But if you remember the trouble, the wind, actually it's just to make us tough, to make us endurance and having characters. So that's promised by God. Nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistake. No journey without wind, heat, and or raining. Let's hand in hand together. Be grateful and joyful with an effective communication towards the eternally life. I put some scriptures verse of the Bible. If you believe it, it is true in our marriage. It doesn't mean there is no disease or no sickness, no hurt, no pain. Yes, it is. But we're still alive and we still have joyful because God is there. And this is just the end of my explanation because some of my friends will also show you how gender harmony being proved could be used in the family life. So let's see next speaker, Dr. Daniel.
Thank you, Dr. Erna. And once again, greetings from Jakarta, Indonesia. Hi, Lois. Good to see
Hello.
you.
Nice to see you again.
We met in Jakarta.
Mhm.
My name is Daniel Runtuene, and I'm the Dean of Academic at Harvest International Theological Seminary here in Tangerang, near Jakarta, Indonesia. And this morning in New York and this evening in Jakarta, I would like to share about fatherhood in children education. So let me start by giving the portrait, yes, the next slide, of a fatherless generation. That nearly 20 million children in America, there is almost 1 in 4 live without a father in the home.
Mhm.
75% of high school dropouts come from homes with absent fathers. 85% of youth in prison come from fatherless homes. And then 90% of homeless and runaway children come also from fatherless settlements. And 70% of suicides occur in homes where there isn't a dad. In Indonesia itself, around also pretty high numbers, around 20%, 21% children are fatherless. So, as the father of 4 children, so we have 3 boys and a daughter, I personally really want to be involved in the children education, in their upbringing. And as Dr. Erna mentioned earlier about the godly life, I really want to really involve what actually God uh, has a command about the role of a father. And the book of Proverbs mentions few fathers' role in children. For example, the next slide. Proverbs 4, verse 1 and 2 said, "Listen, my son, to a father's instruction. Pay attention that gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching." So, as a father, I really need to come to God in prayer. I need to read my Bible, read the scriptures. And in my prayer and my meditation on scriptures, I need to be able to translate that into instruction for my children. And that's what Prophet 4 said. So the father needs to teach and give instruction and pass down the important values in lives that the children will need to hang on, need to have. Another Proverbs 29:17 said, "Discipline your children, and they will give you peace." Again, like this, the theme from this webinar, gender harmony for family. One of it is peace. So, because they will bring you the delights that you desire. Here, the father needs to reinforce the values that he's been teaching. I still remember when my kids are still small, there are times that they will have a rewards and also punishment if they don't do right. And the disciplining also continuing on. I think in life we have to always remember about disciplining ourselves and also our family. And then Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So the training, it's a lot of times it's just remembering. It's a reminder for me as a father. It's basically to live also, to give the example to our children. I still remember when we play together or when we read the scriptures together, pray together. It's not just a top down. There are times that we are doing it together as a family. Another point we can learn from the Bible is the concept of one flesh, which is from Genesis 2, verse 24. It says that a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. It means that the father needs to work together in harmony with the mother in parental partnership. I want to give a situation where one day my wife and I had a hesitation about our first son when he graduated from high school and about to choose his university, whether to continue in Indonesia or to go to United States actually at that time. And at that time he was accepted at Institut Teknologi Bandung. That's the best technology university in Indonesia. So we have my wife and I have a different opinion, a different perspective on that situation. My wife wanted him to go to US, but I said it's very hard to be accepted in this technology university in Bandung. So I said it's better to go to ITB. So what are we going to do in this situation? So understanding the principles from gender harmony actually help us. The gender harmony could be used also in parenting. Next slide, where both father and mother honor God, and both father and mother also respect and love each other, and then both father and mother also respect their children. So what happened is we came together basically in prayer, remembering the triangle. So basically God is the creator. God is the Almighty, is all-knowing, is omnipotent, is omnipresent, and He's here in the midst of us. So what happened when we pray? We pray together, and then we take time to listen to one another. So at that time, I want to listen also to my wife reasoning. And I said, well, it makes sense. And my wife also listened to my reasoning. But at the end, after we pray, we gave our son basically the authority to make his own decision. In this case, we respect our son's decision, where finally he decided to go to the Institut Teknologi in Bandung. From this story, we can learn that mutual respect with effective communication or collaboration basically will bring the unity in the family. So I want to close with saying that gender harmony can be used and will help every family in their strength, security, equality, and in their peace. Thank you. So I give back to next, which is my wife, my beloved wife.
Oh, thank you for such a fine, personalized explanation of gender harmony. Very practical about how a family is resilient because of this tool to come together. The headlines today are no ceasefire. You all know about the war in the Middle East, Ukraine, and beyond. We live in a challenging world of conflict and war, economic upheavals, increasing poverty, natural disasters, climate change crisis, very much in Indonesia, hunger and malnutrition, diseases and health problems, religious intolerance and persecution, crime and corruption, trafficking, family fragmentation. That means this is my mother and this is my mother's boyfriend and my father I go to on the weekend. Excuse me, that is very disruptive to children, to parents, and to gender harmony. We also see now racism, discrimination against older persons, migration, displacement, refugee issues, militarization, tensions of freedom of expressions, and challenges to democracy. You recently had an election. The United States is going to have an election later in the year, and that captures the news. But we know that the tools of gender harmony enable couples to rise above all the fighting and the tensions and stay strong together. Thank you. All right. Now we will hear from your lovely wife.
Thank you, Liz. So when God created Adam, we know from the Bible, we can read it from the Bible. When God created Adam as the first human being, the Bible recorded that God himself said, "It is not good for a man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him." So if we think about it, what kind of helper did God think is the most suitable for Adam? Interestingly, God did not repeat creating another human being from the ground, nor did he clone Adam. No, God created Eve. God made someone taken from Adam to be like Adam, and yet at the same time, she is not like Adam. Yeah. Like Adam, yet she is to be unlike Adam. God, according to God's biological design, only Eve and not another Adam was a suitable helper. Because only Eve, together with Adam, could obey the creation mandate. That is why she was said a helper fit for him. Since the beginning, women were made to be women, not a different kind of men. Women have value to be shown and used. Women were not made as a baby making machine, not as a sex object, not even a subordinate of men. No, women were created uniquely with their own potential. And together with men, they are to fulfill God's given commandment to subdue the earth and to have dominion. For many centuries, however, the patriarchal ideology, an ideology that allows men to dominate over women had become nearly a universal social system. In many parts of the world, even until now, this patriarchal ideology still causes girls to get little to no educations, to be married off young, have little or no control over their bodies, and even have little to no control over household income. Even though the rights of women has improved over the years, there are still plenty of footprints left by patriarchal culture. Many women are still deprived of their human rights. Not only that, the economy and the society has suffered and experienced poverty. Gender-based violence still exists rampantly, as Dr. Erna mentioned earlier. So these things also happen in Indonesia. I remember stories from my grandma. As a girl, my grandma was not allowed to even stare at her father's face. Whenever he called, she had to instantly drop everything that she did and had to crawl using her knees to go and meet him. As a girl, she was forbidden to get higher educations. Through those difficulties, she vowed, my grandma make a vow that her children, boys or girls, will get the highest level of education possible. Because of her vow, my mom became a medical doctor. I myself was fortunate enough to be able to pursue my education and get a master's degree in business administrations. So I believe, even if in the smallest unit of society, a family unit, empowering women is still an important decision that needs to be made by both husband and wives. As we know, empower means to give someone the authority or power to do something. It also means to make someone stronger or more confident, especially in controlling their life and claiming their rights. By empowering their wives, husbands trust their wives enough to give them the authority to build their families together. And by doing that, they actually make their wives stronger and more confident. So empowering women is actually very essential to the health and social development of families, communities, and countries. The Bible says, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish tears her down. So the wise woman is an empowered woman. By being empowered contains great power, and great power comes with great responsibility. We learn it from Spider-Man. But being an empowered wife means to be trusted by the husband and given the power to help him, to help our husbands to become successful in life, including being successful as a father at home. As my husband Daniel spoke earlier, fathers have an equal responsibility in training and disciplining children. And many times, we need to help him. I need to help him create meaningful engagement with the children. Therefore, as a wife, we need to be the positive influencer and greatest cheerleader of our husband. As mother, we need to meet the needs of our home, not to neglect them. We also need to lead our children with discipline and integrity. As a member of society, we need to be responsible, compassionate, and diligent worker. That is why empowering women is necessary for family advancement and future investment. So these responsibilities are not easy. There are times when we need to juggle our priorities. One of the biggest decisions that we had to make together happened when our second son was diagnosed to have a speech delay when he was 3 years old. We were challenged by the medical doctor when the medical doctor said that one of his parents needed to stay home and take care of his constant therapies, not only in speech, but also physical and behavioral therapies. It was a difficult moment for both of us. And we finally decided that I needed to resign from work for a while to take care of Brian. But this temporary setback actually enabled us to prioritize our values and to strengthen our relationship as a family. It is true that sometimes we have to take a step back in order to move forward. 20 years later, Brian graduated from summa cum laude from a reputable school of law and is now preparing himself for a higher education overseas. I believe that is why it is important for husbands to empower their wives by equipping and allowing her to flourish. Empowered wives will empower children and advance their family. Thus, it is essential to the health and social developments of families, communities, and countries. As Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, women, whether subtly or vociferously, have always been a tremendous power in the destiny of the world. Therefore, gender harmony strongly supports that we should return to God's original design, where He created women to be empowered and to empower others, where He created marriages based on mutual love and respect, not a power struggle. That is what we are discussing today. Gender harmony for family strength, security, equality, and peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was, again, a personal revelation of how gender harmony has made a difference in your family. And the times were not always easy. I would also like to thank Kendra, who I see in the chat is with us and who's been part of Gender Harmony and was at the Congress and very, very helpful in spreading Gender Harmony's philosophy and practical tools. In this complex time in today's world, and I have 4 children and I'm a widow, so I speak from also meeting the challenges. In today's world, when power, politics, profit, and privilege tend to overwhelm us, when long-held values and traditions may be questioned, and there may be pressures on the family, gender harmony can provide individual and family strength, respect, and resilience. And now we have another speaker who I have met and who's a very special lady. Would you like to start and welcome the group? Please.
Okay.
This is Dewi Susilawati, and you are a doctor.
Thank you, Louis. Dear ladies and gentlemen, and hi, Louis. I'm happy to be with all of you today. My name is Dwi Susilawati. I'm a medical doctor, researcher, consultant, and lecturer. I'm going to talk about health resilience for family strength. What is a family? A family consists of husband, wife, with or without children. They work together inside and outside the house. They are all responsible for the welfare of their family. And what does resilient health system means? Resilient health systems within the family ensures that they can effectively prevent, prepare for, detect, adapt to, respond to, and recover from health threats while ensuring the maintenance of quality, essential and routine health services in all contexts, including in fragile, conflict, and violent settings. Those definitions I took it from WHO. I am a medical doctor for more than 40 years, and I'm practicing up to today. About one third of the medical cases are related to psychological problems. One of them is as following. This is, I took it as an example. A family consisted of father, mother, and a son of 8 years old. The father and the mother work outside their home to support their living. Both left home at 6 p.m. and came home at about 6 p.m. and even more. When they came home, they are both exhausted because of their work and the heavy traffic jam, especially in Jakarta. When they came home, they frequently find their son got stomach aches that need to go to the hospital because it is relatively severe. Since it happens many times, the physician took an in-depth interview, and she found out that the mother is already exhausted to help her son with his homework and exam preparation for tomorrow. She became impatient and in helping her son's tasks that caused the illness of their son. So it's time the parents come home and the son hasn't finished the preparation for tomorrow, and that the illness come to him. And now the case analysis. We talk about the mother. The wife or mother has to work together with her husband to fulfill their family needs. She works in the office that needs her full attention. She should be as good and even better than her male counterpart. Besides a full-time worker, she is expected to be responsible in domestic tasks, including taking care of the education of their son. How about the father? Males are considered as the main wage earner, and they are less likely responsible for domestic tasks. The son. Each time the mother came home, and if he has not finished his homework, he faced an impatient and angry mother. This will manifest as stomach aches. Then what to do in this case? The three of them, father, mother, and son, should sit together to talk about the matter. Ask their son about the school, teachers, friends, hobbies, what are his dreams, etc. Explain to him that father and mother have to work for their monthly needs and later on for his further study. He has to try doing his homework, and if there is some difficulties, father and mother will help him if they come home. The Bible teaches the equal standing of men and women. So the father should also help with the domestic chores as well as taking care of their child. In this case, the parents hire a part-time teacher for their son to help him in the evening after he came from school. So when they come home, there were no tension anymore, and everybody became happier. Following are some scriptures related to family and good health. He made a husband and wife yoked together as one flesh, from Genesis. Love is patient, love is kind, from Corinthians. Children are a heritage from Lord, offering a reward from Him. Psalms. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a cross spirit dries up the bones. Come from Proverbs. Anxiety and man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. So talk together and make decision together. That is one thing that's important about it from gender harmony. Thank you for all your time. Go back to the please.
Thank you very much. I think these examples that you, as distinguished speakers, have given us are very revealing of how to use gender harmony on the personal level. We want political will and we want personal. And I think it's important, Erna, to share with our audience that you have gone out to schools and to different islands to speak about gender harmony. It's not easy when a country has some 2,000 islands and people cannot necessarily interact with each other all the time. And there are cultural groups that form on the islands. It's a fascinating country, but also one that makes challenges for community unity, for family solidarity. And I am very proud of what this program has done to reach out into an island community that is not at war, that is reaching for peace. So thank you, Erna. Do you want to say a little more? Maybe we have some questions. Erna, do you have okay, there you go.
Is there any question from the floor?
Why don't you give a summary and then we'll take questions.
You would like me to show? Is there any question? Better talk about question first. No, Luis? The summary? Okay. I would love to show you the summary, what's been taught. We, as the 4 people over here, believe it or not, gender harmony, after passing through the long research and finding it successful created tools. Like Dr. Daniel mentioned about respect with harmony communicative action, it works. And the first research that I've done actually for my doctoral study is about violence against women and girls. Like why we found the respect with effective communication and created unity. I mean, it tools that might be used eventually to change into the living into peace and harmony. But we cannot deny that every changing needs time, because I'm actually from medical. My background is medical, okay? But in sociology, interaction among women, among human, especially gender, men and women, it takes time because it's dealing with mindset. Let me tell you one thing I forgot to tell you before, that the most problem or cause of the violence against women is legitimation crisis, which is attack men mostly. That's why they did violence to the wife or the loved ones. So it needs time, it needs effort, it needs partnership between spouses, men and women, because they have gender disparities, then we have to learn. What is the difference between men and women? They all human created by God, but differently. Adam and Eve, like mentioned by Grace, is different. They think differently, and it is normal. It doesn't mean that you have to change yourself into men because you're a woman, no. But God created that one with purpose to work together, to be helping it to each other. So, for partnership between spouse, father, mother, it needs resources, it needs sincerity, which is dealing with respect and love. I mean, it is the first law in religion. In Christian, love is the only very top important, because if God not love us, Jesus Christ wouldn't come down to sacrifice himself. So, do respect and love is prerequisite that you have to hold together all the time. We can prove to you 56% declining of the violence because of miscommunication, or even if you have poverty in the family, you can increase together, you know, over the situation and transform into the new situation, which is better. Yeah. So if you have no spirit, no excitement, no joyful dispute, disunity, egoism, and family crisis, remember, then harmony can help you. I would love to come and teaching you all of this technical or some not mathematical, but need to be trained. You need to learn that one. And this is from our expert. Just last time December when Louise also present, she came there to open the Gender Harmony International Conference in December. Find God. He is the only very justice, the judge which is give justice to you and to your spouse, to your loved ones. The God gonna help. If you cry, if you ask, God gonna help. Remember, and gender harmony, prove it. This is true. In my experience in my life, 48 years almost in the next June, we've been married. God's played a very important role. So push forward the harmony community action that we found, I think, with the heart, sincerity, respect, love, and God also helped when you could have the peace and harmony living. Peace and welfare is the promise of God, and it is true. You know, I have fire disaster last the 2 years past, but God gave it back to us from where anywhere. You know, many people transfer money, and our home is even built even better and wonderful. It's God's help. Gender harmony. I think the title is actually we received from Louis, and thank you so much, Louis. You make a very wonderful phrase. Gender harmony is family strength for security. Yes, no violence. Equality, yes, loving between spouse, husband, and wife with equality. You don't know, superiority, not inferiority. And peace, harmony. Yes, we can have it. Believe it. We can even later, in by the God's help, having the eternally life. Marriage with no violence is a reality. We can achieve that. Harmony and peace. Everything that we cannot do alone, I mean, it's in the next slide, is we can do it together. Yes, that is the logo of gender harmony, which is the arrow to the upper is for men. With the plus sign is women. You see in the middle is Titan. I mean, it's an area that belong together. But the other half, I think, is also belong to each one of you. A privacy of the man and the woman. You still have privacy, your private life. You know, I always talking this. So listen, you don't have to say whatever you know. You don't have to say all you know, but you have to know all you say. So meaning you still have privacy. I mean, that's tongue. Many people mention on women, you talk too much. So men rhetoric, they don't like it. So women, learn to be wise. This is wisdom from God. What we can do alone, we can do together. So the next slide, I mean, this is the last one. This is all the books that GH Gender Harmony produce that can help you. Among those 3 editions in English, the other is in local Bahasa. I promise to translate this into English. Hopefully we're still healthy and have time. The power from God. So you can email me to genharmony@gmail.com. I mean, everything possible for God, although we as human beings with our limitation and their limitation say it's impossible. But God say, believe me, everything is possible for God. And gender harmony is just following God. And you all can have it for living in peace and harmony. Luis?
Thank you, Erna. I want to share with our audience that when you have like 2,000 islands in a South Asian sea, it is not easy to communicate, to teach, to share ideas back and forth. So, and Erna went on television and she talked about gender harmony, and the people in the outer islands could see how valuable gender harmony could be. Because what happened in Indonesia? When I was there, there was a volcano eruption. Indonesia's in a landmass that has regular volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, storms, lots of climate issues. And so the resilience that this program provides helps people not only within the family unit, but in the community, in the town, in the state of Indonesia, and in the world. You're wonderful examples. This panel is taking place during the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. It's session 68. It is in New York, but a lot of it is virtual. And I wanted to read to you the 2 primary themes of CSW. The priority theme is accelerating the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. The second one is social protection systems, access to public services, sustainable infrastructure for gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. And they are making a document that I will share on the OneRun listserv when it's finished. They call it the Draft Agreed Conclusions. Right now it's down to 36 pages, but that can be used in your advocacy, in your lobbying for human rights. It's a very valuable tool. Well, I think, you're halfway around the world from us, Erna, and my friends, and yet I feel we're very connected. Do we have any questions, Sarah, that we would want to address?
Yes, we do have some questions. I'll just go ahead and go through them if that's okay.
Please. Mhm.
Okay, we have a first question that's directed to Dr. Erna. The question is, divorce in Indonesia is high. How does gender harmony, how can it prevent divorce?
Okay, thank you for the question. Divorce in the Bible, let me quote from the Bible, actually not allowed by God, but there is some evidence that they might have it. But in our reality, I don't think people would like to get divorced, right? Because you would like to live happily ever after until die separate us. Yeah. So how, in my opinion, like life is a journey. If you mention boat, right? Marriage is a life journey with one boat. Can you imagine? If you have your own boat, it's okay whether you could take a race or you would like to work, rowing. But if you together in one boat, what is a must? What is the most important in gender harmony? Partner. See, gender harmony show you. There should be some must. And how you know whether you would like to turn right or turn left or stop or just move on? How? What is the tool of gender harmony? Harmony, communicative action. I mean, let me show you what is the difference harmony, communicative action with regular or normal. We heard about communication. Maybe people say, you communicate with me, okay, you, me, huh? How you feel? No, gender harmony not starting with it one. We started from Jordan Habermas, this is the very top father of sociology, is talking about situation. I mean, in the book, you can start to searching harmony communicative action in YouTube. So we have all the video in YKB TV in Indonesia. That's all talking about how you do it. Situation, what is the situation? That you must have two types, two character, mutual understanding, like Dr. Dwi Susi mentioned about the cases of the boy had this. The situation, the mother got upset because tired and the father also busy doing business. So the child is stressful. I mean, how to divine the situation is supposed to be mutual understanding. For whom? Among the three, among the mother, the father, and the child. Mutual understanding, and you got then mutual solution. That you do the communication. I mean, there's something like what is validity claim? What is validity claims is the real one. So you cannot say, oh, I think. No, that's you think. But mother come home every day late. That is fact. I mean, you have to do it. Okay, Luis.
I have a question. Do you have premarital counseling for couples before they get married? Because that's a time when all this good advice and tools can help them start their life together with good values. You do have that counseling. Well, I think that's important.
Yeah, I would suggest it's between group. For example, a society in the church, in the what is it, public house neighborhood.
Mhm.
I mean, if we talk to one by one and wasting time, it's so many people stressful, so many people distressed and dispute and divorce. I mean, if community, especially the Women's UN Report Network, may spread this one. I mean, more people learn about this one, then it's going to be faster to have equality, like Dr. Daniel mentioned, respect between father and the son. I mean, it's equality. Then you have equality. Because many people mentioning, I'm sorry to say, equality, equality. But how? Especially laymen, they don't know how to do it. Now, gender harmony teaching you, because I studied gender for 5 years in my doctoral study, it's a hard time, it's a hard study. Then I'm willing to share it with you. I mean, let's have the peace and harmony. So we have counseling, but we cannot catch up. It is one by one. It need to be pushed even maybe by country. I mean, I'm willing to come. Why you invite me? I'm gonna teach. Okay, maybe only 3 days, and then you're gonna spread for 50, 60 people, or even 1,000 people. I mean, even if this book is being spread better, we have limitation in resources. But
Mhm.
yes, we already prove it. Many people testimony, like I quote the one live in Argentina. She is foreigner. She said, Dr. Erna, I wish that I could know gender harmony long before. So I would have invited my husband. See, this is testimony for a person who is very honestly. I mean, I cannot catch up all of you in the world directly, but say, this is not me, just because God wanted. Because I got this one based on God's, I got it from, why I can have this one in my research, I don't know. God the way.
One other question I might have of you, um, there is a commodification of women and girls all over the world. You should be beautiful. You should wear makeup. You should have fancy clothes. You should attract boys. All of this type of pressure on females of all ages. And when I was in Indonesia, I didn't see so much of that. Women were more covered, couples together, and with children, and the billboards up above the roads didn't have movie stars on them. It seems that the objectification or the commodification of marketing for women for beauty and youth and for attracting men has swept around the world. They've often said it was a Western value, but no, it's everywhere now. And I'm wondering if in Indonesia, part of the success of gender harmony is a result of valuing the whole couple, the man, the woman, the family, and not always having to pretend that you are rich and have lots of things and are beautiful.
Yes, I mean, we all hope for the better and the good one. I mean, talking back about the divorce, I suddenly remember one case of counseling. You asked about counseling. One lady actually attending my gender harmony seminar. It's only half day because not many resources belong to a certain institution. So this is from the church is about 350 people presented at that moment. And then suddenly she asked personal counseling to me. 4 hours, my ears.
Whoa.
But the
Whoa.
case is, she has one child is already in high school, about 16 to 16 years old. So meaning she's been married 17 years. On the starting 16 years married, she's taking graduate study. And then she asked me a question like this: what you gonna do if you feel your husband cheating on you? So I said, how do you conclude that one? Is that she felt that the husband, creeping with the sister, her younger sister, who stay in the house because she always going out for graduate study. So I said, do you still love your husband? Yes. Do you want to keep your marriage? No, I think we're starting to think about starting divorce. No, let me ask you again. Do you still love him? Do you still want to keep your marriage? Yes, I do. Then you listen to me. In fact, the truth, the reality, remember, God is the Lord of truth. You have the right as the wife, not your sister. So hold on to it. One time you provide like a candlelight dinner, you invite your husband. A very top cuisine that liked by your husband, and you spend a moment. Would I do that? I'm just discarded. No, believe it. God with you. God with you. Because the truth, you have the right place. A wife. You are not the person. You are the one with your mother. And later on, couple months later, she said she did it. She followed my suggestion, and they didn't divorce. I mean, see, husband.
Mhm.
Do you know this why it happened? Because that's what God wanted.
Mhm. That's very insightful, Erna. Thank you so much. And I refer to the comment about the divorce. This is hard for children too, because when you break a family, often the mother doesn't have the resources, the funds to support the family well. And she will find someone else maybe, and it fragments the family. One of the big problems in the world today, but especially in Western countries, is caring for children. The cost of having your children cared for in any kind of daycare or kindergarten, which are provided by the government, then the family is strained for that. And how does it work for your families? Do people keep their children home more, not in outside care? But also, the grandparents may not be able to take care of their grandchildren. When I was in Italy, I saw this because the birth rate was almost zero, and women were wanting to work because they got no pension if they weren't working. And so the children used to stay with the grandmother, Nonona. But now it's a big problem, and women stay home, maybe don't work, and maybe you're angry because they feel they're not developing themselves. Any comments on that?
Luis, actually, it happened in my life. Can you imagine? I work as a government employee, becoming executive, and I have to open my clinic and coming late at the middle of night. Even my husband mentioned, you not a wife because I eat my the servants, the maids cooking, and you don't know the about the house, the life, and the children. This is rarely meet me, so
Mhm.
I consider that one. So I put alternate date to open the clinic. So I have 3 days and 4 days for the holiday or the weekend for the family. And time is a value time. It's not the longer time, how many hours, how many, but the time they use as a valuable.
Quality of time. Yeah.
That's most important, the quality, Luis, you're right. So every Sunday and every Saturday, it belongs to the children. You know, my children, 2 children, their IQ is 149 and 146. Hello, they are going abroad. Now I'm a granny already. Oh, I'm over 70 already. So they grown up because they know we love us. But every Saturday and Sunday is belong to them. You can ask everything from us. You can go to fast food forever, go to seashore, go to the mountain, and we follow. I mean, that's supposed to be the harmony communicative action. It's a mutual solution. Even I have to turn down when we received a green card from America because our 2 children didn't want it. We just coming back from US. But when we asked them, let's go back because Mama got a scholarship for PhD, doctoral degree, and got a job. And let's go back to America. No, Mama, please don't. We love to stay here in Indonesia. So we dropped. Actually, we paid already, I don't know, a couple $100, but we follow our children's will. It's a respect, like Dr. Dana mentioned, it's happened. So, Luis, don't mention nowadays husband and wife, father and mother don't have time for children. If you don't have at all, do not have any kid. That's my suggestion. I'm sorry. Like
No,
a man
thank you.
to get along with the women, do not get married. Okay. So, I mean, you choose the status, the journey as a family. Dr. Dwi mentioned, you have to have affection. Yeah, that's love, affection. You have to build the relationship. Otherwise, don't build a family. If you have no responsibility, so I prove it. I mean, 50 years back already, I made it. My children successful. They have
Bravo, bravo. You're living examples of how gender harmony can improve the life of the individual, the family, the couple, the children, everybody. I wonder if we could have just a couple words from all of you as we close this panel. And I note that it is going all over the world. This panel is part of a UN program all over the world. Compliments to all of you for your fine words and examples. Maybe Reverend, you would give a few words. Do you have anything more to say at the end of closing this panel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lois, for the time. And I believe that this message, hopefully from Indonesia, can be a blessing to all over the world. And the gender harmony can be used as a tool to help family strength and resilience, and to have security, equality, and also peace in the family. Just one last thing that probably we can share, that people sometimes ask. Dr. Anna said that gender harmony tools can be used to prevent or reduce.
This is
violence.
our next
Yeah.
generation of gender harmony.
So,
They're gonna continue me.
Yeah, that's is that a property choice? But with that harmonic communicative action, respecting one another, love one another, that basically help us to get through our marriage. Then this is gonna be our 30 years of marriage. So thank you.
Compliments, yes. Okay.
Yes, Lois?
Yes,
There was a question that came in for Dr. Daniel specifically.
good,
Could
okay,
we ask that?
absolutely.
Okay, and so this is for you, Dr. Daniel. The question comes in about the bully and suicide rate lately in Indonesia. An investigation found that there could be a different character at home with the children and at school to be rebellious. So, how is the role of the father to prevent bullying by the children?
All right, thank you. Thank you for the questions. So basically, bullying can be prevented from home, starting from home. And I believe, as I shared earlier, that the role of the father is to create an environment of respect in the family. I believe one of the things that make a kid or a child kind of like be good at home because of not respect, but because of fear of the father, fear of the punishment. So when the kid goes outside the house, he become another being, another person, and start bullying others. And he or she probably get the the, the kind of like the impartation or the teaching from that environment. So he got hurt, and hurting people will hurt other people. So again, respect and communication needs to start at home, and the father can have a great role on it. So starting from home, bullying can be prevented. Thank you.
Thank you. And do you have any words, Grace? Do you have any words on that, or would we like to say a few words?
Okay, thank you, Luis. I believe we are living in a exciting time. We just celebrated International Women's Day a couple of days ago, and I believe now is the time to empower women. Yeah, women empowerment. We empower ourselves, and as I said before, with great power comes great responsibility. So it is up to us as the women to take up the responsibility and empower others as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And Joey, do you have a few words for us?
Thank you. Husband and wife have to work together nowadays. It is a must. Maybe 1 or 2 generations ago, mothers worked at home, father are the base gardener, but not today. So we have to have mutual respect for each other, husband, wife, and children. Talk together. That's it.
Thank you.
Share together. Thank you.
All right. Sarah, are there any more questions?
There is one last question that came in, and it states from Karina, one article from a well-known university in Indonesia stated that Indonesia is still at an emergency level in terms of gender equality practice. Would you tell us what we should do and how to teach our daughters to understand and practice this value without overdoing it and fall into an unhealthy feminist way of thinking? Thank you.
Actually, it's a very wide question. We talk about feminists, we talk about how the gender. I'm sorry, the first time when I involved, I might not directly answer the question because I didn't catch what is the main question is. But let me talk about this one. Based on historical, when Beijing performed in 1995, we still talking about women in remember, Luis? Women in development, women in something like that. But only Beijing +5, we starting gender, right?
Yes,
Gender,
yes. Next
Yeah.
year is Beijing +30.
yeah. So when we talk gender, that's us, gender harmony. So if we talk about feminism, what I learned when I study, and I ask, I'm sorry to say, this is honestly finding, men didn't like when women put opposition. I mean, this is our right. This is men's right. This is women's right. They don't like it. But gender harmony, they like it. I mean, it's together. So I do not want to make any further comment, but feminism is something more stronger. Maybe Louis is more understood that one because you started earlier than me. I mean, we between like 10 years apart. But we're starting in a harmony, it talking about partnership, not feminism, not women only. I mean, I have to stick straight to that one, make it clear. So maybe we can take more time to talk about this. You know my email, jenharmony@gmail.com. We can more talking because this is like theoretical. This is more philosophy. I do not want to make people confused. General harmony talking about men and women with this by God and is partnership. They supposed to help each other. That's Galatians 6.2 and Genesis 2.18. They are becoming together one. Yeah.
Okay, Erna, thank you very much. I think that we all are really on the same path, the same thinking of what it takes and what this world needs. Peace, gender harmony, family strengths, all of these values that we can integrate into our lives that will make us happier and more successful. I think we're almost out of time, and so I'm going to read a poem, and then we will close the panel. But I want to thank all of you. As I said before, you're far away, but very close. And this idea that Erna developed has blossomed into a real lifestyle advice program. Okay, this is called Sisterhood of Women. Women of the world, girls of the planet, we are all sisters. Trauma and joys that happen to one happen to us all. Issues and rights, oppression and empowerment are part of women's challenge for equality and dignity. For we are bonded in the female spirit. We reach out to learn and to understand each other. Local to global, rural and urban, islands and mainland, hugs and tears. Now is our time. Thank you. Blessings, joy,
Please,
and peace. Okay.
this is our
Yeah.
one more for Sarah. Thank you so much for backing up our this one. Yeah, Luis, send it, please.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you all. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.